Hey, welcome to my channel. I'm your Cosmic Auntie, and this is going to be a tarot reading for the new moon in Capricorn. It's happening tomorrow. I'm recording this the day before. Sorry, I have cat hair on my face. Yeah, so new moon blessings to you. Also solstice love to you as well. Wherever you are on this beautiful planet, whether you're experiencing the winter solstice or the summer solstice. I live in a place where I'm experiencing the winter solstice and it is winter full force out there. It was powerful last night, and I hope that this shift in light and tilt in planet brings great blessings to you. So then we have this powerful new moon in Capricorn, and I have received some very interesting insights and visuals in regards to this energy chat, and I look forward to leaning into it with you. So before I do, I want to introduce my decks. I'm going to be using the Deviant Moon Tarot today and also the Goddess Oracle. So I'm going to use the Goddess Oracle at the end. Yeah, so let's start shuffling and I'll share the visuals with you, my sweet friends. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for being you. As you pay attention to these messages, always tune into your own inner guidance system. You know yourself best, right? Tune into your own intuition. Take what you want, leave the rest. These are designed to be like a tasting plate of energy, right? An energetic buffet is another thing I like to describe it as. So the visual that I received for the new moon in Capricorn was the classic Louboutin black and red heels. Okay, and I heard the song, of course, by Iggy Azalea, "I walk a mile in these Louboutins." And then it goes, how does it go next? But they don't wear these shoes where I'm from. I think. Man, that was a really, really popular song back in 2014, 2013. So maybe that could be an interesting time, because I feel like this conversation is going to be reflecting, well, we're on the path, right? We're all on the path. And then there's chapters along the path. And I feel a significant ending to certain chapters and beginnings of new chapters happening here in the collective. I did a reading for the solstice called What is Coming and What is Going. I'll link it in the description below. It was really interesting. So feel guided. Go check out that reading. So then I also heard the words grand finale. So it all came together in this like Hollywood moment for me. Energetically, when I was tuning the cards, it's like, whoa. And when I visualize these Louboutin shoes, they're walking in slow motion. I just see the shoes walking on a road, and it was kind of deserty in the background. Like there was nothing around really other than beautiful nature. Nothing is, no like buildings is what I mean. And it was like this, Hollywood moment. And when we think of a grand finale, right, it is a conclusion. It is a conclusion to the show, to the, I was going to say recital. I don't know if any of y'all are dancers out there. I certainly was. I did tap dancing for like 10 years. I loved recital time. And the finale was when we all came out and we took a bow and we got to show off our fits, our costumes, our flair one more time all together, right? And then I was also in lots of musical theater, so I did lots of finales of the show, right? This is a time where it all gets wrapped up. There's this big grandness to it, right? There's like, okay, let's show up and show out for, all aspects of this play, of this recital. Queen of Swords. So I feel like this full moon, this new moon, I was looking at the full moon. this new moon is inviting us into our grand finale, our come up story, right? That the Iggy Azalea song called It Work is her story, or a story of coming up, of following a dream, of working really hard and having persistence and stamina, and yeah, a come up story. So what is your come up story up until this point, right? Because we're constantly unfolding, but there is a huge shift at this time. And with the Queen of Swords coming out here, like, this is really showing me that there's a deeper awareness of self here. A grand finale, right? This new moon is like, okay, the new moon is a fresh start, but it feels like there's this threshold here. There's this threshold. This is the Queen of Swords in this deck is holding 2 swords, which is interesting. There's this threshold of, okay, time to show up and show out the gains, the tools, the lessons that have been learned up into this point in this come up story, to really revel in the growth and expansion and success, and like the toil, that's the word, that's an interesting word, toil that it is taken at times. But what's interesting about the solstice reading is that there's this release of identifying with struggle only, and really starting to become aware of where there is over control, tension, and rigidity, and showing up with love and understanding, because we also talked about in that reading these places that are starting to get out of in the way of expansion, or snag in the expansion of soul, of soul. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought. Get in the way of, is where the attention is being brought, is where there is release, and through that release there is a purge and a floodgate of emotion that is being held right now, and that could be very well where you're at. And following that big purge of emotion, there's this childlike sweetness and whimsy coming in. So interesting. So this Queen of Swords with her 2 swords, it feels like there's that threshold, right? Like there's that one with the blood on it, and then there's this one standing up straight, holding up straight. What else is coming up for the new moon in Capricorn? There's such a strength with this. Like, I feel like for those of you who are here, there's just like, yeah, with that identification of rigidity and where it may be getting in the way of soul expansion, there's this notion that there's aspects of that power that is being integrated into the softness, right? Because it's not all joy, it's not all struggle, it's this duality. And with Mars retrograde in Gemini, this is very much a energy that that is here to work with. How we relate to ourselves, how we relate to others, our internal communication, how that influences our external, and how our external, all of these things. Mars retrograde. I also did a Mars retrograde survival guide reading, which I'll also link into this description box if that's interesting to you. And the theme of that reading was how Mars retrograde is inviting us to check the internal structures, because there is soul expansion here. And checking our internal structures is like looking at where there's leaks, where there's rotten parts, where there's faulty scaffolding, and removing that and building in a stronger sense. And sometimes there needs to be release. You know, if there is a leak, there might be some pressure build up there, and there may be some attention there. That, you know, it's the same kind of thing with our emotions, our maintenance. And when the Queen of Swords is used in a way that is kind of following the heart, that's something we also talked about, then it can be very insightful, very, very useful. The Queen of Swords has been to hell and back. Like, this is very, I feel like I just keep hearing that song, you know, work when I look at the Queen of Swords. You know, you have worked so hard. For those of you who are here, dear soul, you have worked so hard to build what you have built, but also to get to where you're at mentally and emotionally through all the things that you've been through is a huge feat. And I feel like this new moon in Capricorn is like grand finale baby, okay? You know, like, look at you. Look at you after everything. Look at you. And at the same time, no one's going to be pulling no wool over your eyes either. But there's this relaxing of any kind of rigidity, because sometimes when we are keeping ourselves safe, and that time ends, then that behavior becomes out of place. So there's a few ways I sense y'all shifting that energy and reapplying it in ways that assist in keeping healthy boundaries and trusting in yourself, right? The Queen of Swords trusts in herself because she has been to hell and back several times. She navigates the underworld as well as the physical world. And, you know, the underworld is not a bad place. It's our shadow. It's so interesting. So this is a very interesting reading. And I feel like this is a very interesting time. I feel like there's certain Five of Pentacles. There's versions of yourself within the struggle, right? Like there's this, oh my gosh, there's just so much information I feel like is coming through. The Ace of Wands. There are versions of you in the journey thus far that are essentially putting on a grand finale for you. I feel like this could be a very reflective time for you. Honestly, it just is. This time with these retrogrades, like in the Mars retrograde, is a time to really reflect. And so this could be very introspective to all the times that have been hard with the Five of Pentacles, all the times that it's been challenging, all the times there's been change in the physical, where there has been loss, where there has been, you know, chaos. The Queen of Swords, right, is looking right at this Five of Pentacles, and it just feels like, oh man, like I sense that there could be a lot of tears right now. There's no water on the board, but these energies, like this is like, whoa, being strong for a really long time and going through some very challenging pivots and being like, this is a come up story. Like this is right here, a come up story. Man, there has been choices, there has been that have been made, there has been, whoa, like this energy is so intense. It's very Capricornian as well. Very Saturnian. It's very much like, it feels just really heavy. Okay, it feels really heavy. But with the Queen of Swords here, it's showing me that there's this like, there's this strength of mind. And I really need you to feel proud of yourself, or I really need to say, yes, be proud of yourself. Look at what you have built. Look what you're building. There is like things coming out of this time, like this dragon. Oh my god, I love this card so much. Look at that card. And like I don't know if you can see it, but there's like stars in the pentacles, like a swirl, a galaxy. I just keep hearing, you know, I walk a mile in these Louboutins. You know, I walk a mile in these Louboutins. A mile, sorry. And they don't wear these shoes where I'm from. And I think it's like, I'm trying to hear, because I've heard it like a million times. I'm trying to go back to that time in 2013. Again, that could be a powerful time for you when it comes to reflecting on the chapters at B, because we're always, there's always shifts, right? There's always chapters ending and beginning, but this is a major ending and beginning. And okay, I'm not hating, I'm just telling you, trying to let you know what that I've gone through, or I've been through. And like that song was the song for a while. And so there's things I feel like Spirit is really urging me to reflect to you of how incredible you are, and how this determination to build what you want to build in dark times at that, oh man, is seen. There is so much growth potential to what it is that you're doing right now. And I feel like it's really important for me to say that your hard work is paying off. Yes, 8 of Pentacles. Your hard work is paying off. You're so smart. For those of you who are here, like, you're so smart. It's crazy beautiful. And I just saw too, like, that meme. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's like that guy like on the phone, he's all serious, and it's like me calling God to make sure that I'm not on, you know, God's strongest warriors list this year. And like, I feel like you'll resonate with that, for those of you that are here, and like, you'll resonate with that. Honestly though, like, I hate to say, like, but at the same time, I love to say it, because you really are. You really are one of God's strongest soldiers. And I feel like there has been so many twists and turns on the path so far, and there is so much agility that has been learned, yet, you know, yet, how do I say this? For some reason, like, I'm having a hard time putting it into words, but there's been a lot of agility, mental agility, pivots, while remaining very true to yourself and the goals and the dreams and the plans to do it, and the determination to see it through, and to, you know, because it's a work in progress. Like, there's just so much incredible strength here and tenacity. There's definitely, for those of you who are here, there's like, there's major dreams that you have that are being actualized, that have been actualized, that are continue to being actualized, because I sense for the souls that are here that resonate with this, it's very important to feel and to feel authentic, and to really like dip into your authenticity and show up in the world in a purposeful way. And what I mean by that is just like yourself. And there's just like really big dreams here. And even though it may feel like, oh my gosh, there's so many challenges and changes, and it may not feel like you're a success, but you really are. It may not feel like that right now, because with the Five of Pentacles here, it's like, but the Ace of Pentacles is here too. And I can tell that you're working hard at something. You are working hard at taking things to the next level. You have remained true to the path no matter what has been thrown at you, no matter what has happened. There is so much growth here. And it's incredible. It really is. So I feel like there's a lot of lessons and there's a lot of teachings that you have when it comes to following your dreams, building your dreams, actualizing your dreams. And oh, that's way too much. Trusting yourself in hard times, because it is very, very hard to, you know, like hold on to a dream when you're going through a challenging time, or there's been blockages on the path of that. Like it may feel like, okay, oh, it's so interesting. It's just really deep. It really is so deep. Yeah, Judgment. For those of you who are here, there is rapid expansion, like constant shedding, I sense, in your life. God's strongest soldiers. And I feel like through trial and tribulation, you showed up as you have showed up, and in authenticity. It takes determination and intention to walk a mile in Louboutins. And when I think of those shoes, like, they are timeless, they are classic, they are a symbol of success. So I feel like it's important to, like, what is success to you? Because again, I feel it's so important to say that even if it may not feel like you're a success right now, you are. You really are. And like, I just feel like the growth and the prosperity that is coming in with this like new moon, I feel like so important to like even write down your intentions. Like, grand finale it, baby. What is your grand finale? Celebrate yourself. Celebrate those versions of yourself that navigated these times, that gave, you know, the yous that gave you these tools and lessons that you're bringing into the chapter unfolding. Because I feel like y'all have like been building things in a dark time, and there is this really, okay, what's coming in? Give us some more information. Yeah, this sweetness, this bliss, this emotional understanding, this emotional stability and not awareness and peace. Like, the Nine of Cups is very blissful. You know, the Nine of Cups is very emotionally secure, emotionally curious as well, right? Like really tuning into the self. What is needed emotionally to center? Because right underneath the Five of Pentacles, like, I feel like there's been very important like emotional maintenance that has been learned through navigating really intense shifts in your environment. So my friends, during this new moon, what have you learned about how to keep yourself emotionally grounded. We got the Magician and the Knight of Wands. Wow. And what I love about this, okay, here, let me show you. What I love about this is that the Ace of Pentacles, the Magician, the Knight of Wands are all looking over here. And the Queen of Swords as well. So, wow, I honestly feel like a lot of relief. Like there's just things I feel like, chapters ending here, things I feel that are really being put in the past. You know, there may be like their memories come up again, like, but I feel like the hold that these things have over us are releasing. Again, maybe back to 2013 to here might be an important chunk of time when it comes to this come up story up until this point, because we're all our own come up stories. And if you feel comfortable, you know, of course, you know, your comfort level being your guide, to share your story, to share your come up story, to feel proud of your come up story, to be aware of where you came from and how much you have experienced to be at this point, to feel proud of yourself, to feel secure. You know, there's always learning, right? We have to just make peace with the process, but there is major checkpoints along the path, and I feel like this new moon in Capricorn is one of those checkpoints, because Capricorn, the ruler, Saturn, I just heard Sky Daddy. That always makes me laugh when astrologers say that. But this is karma, this is time, this is the teacher. So this is a time to really demonstrate the lessons that you have learned. There may be things coming up at this time that are triggering those parts that have been being worked on, and it is a time to grand finale that be and put those lessons into work and watch the flourishing, watch the blossoming into this next chapter, because there's things that are really in the works for y'all. Okay, there's things when it comes to your dreams, your goals, the great work. For those of you who are here, like, you're very on a lot like this path, the path of the soul. And with the Magician and the Knight of Wands coming up, like, there's this readiness to experience new things, this awareness of the power that you have to create, right? Like, again, going back to the solstice reading, like, the identification with struggle only is being released. And from that is the extraction from that is knowing that we have our own back no matter what. We are allowed to have boundaries. We are allowed to, you know, be the artist to our canvas, but at the same time, releasing the rigidity that comes with that hyper control, and coming in is this holding space for our own emotions and knowledge that we are not alone either, right? Like, there is medicine in solitude, but healing also happens as a collective, and there's a real sweet sense of belonging that comes along with that, even if you're not around other people. Just knowing that you're alive here alongside everything else that's alive, you're a part of everything, an essential part of everything. And there's a softening that comes with that. There's a lot of self-forgiveness happening right here. I feel like that's a part of our finale. This peace that comes with forgiving ourselves for not knowing what we know now, because of what we didn't know, and learning that process and feeling grateful to that version of ourselves, even though it was challenging. Like, one of my favorite mantras for the last like 3 years, honestly, is I don't have to like everything that happens in my life. It has happened, but I don't have to like it. There's some power in identifying what we like and what we don't like. And I feel like for those of you who are here, that has helped us refine along the path of what is truly valuable to us, who we truly are, how we feel, how we think, and how we want to contribute to the collective in an authentic way. And feeling this spirit of love through deep, challenging trial and tribulation. I feel like even when the flame has been very, very small for you, you have stoked it. And I am proud of you. Okay, I am proud of you. And I sense that this new moon is kicking us off into a whole new chapter of things. This is a new moon, so it is a time to be clear on your intentions, the seeds that are being planted, right? What seeds of the soul are you planting? And, you know, what is the plan of action in regards to cultivating and nurturing these seeds? The Knight of Wands too is very adaptable. They have their eye on the prize. They have a plan. They do have a plan. They have a vision. They have a sight line, but they also trust in themselves to navigate any experiences that come up in life. They are very creative thinkers, and that is something that I feel is a result of this mile that you've walked in your Louboutins up until this point. So even if it's to your own journal, what is your come up story up until this point? How are you utilizing the tools at hand that you've gained through the chapters thus far? And you know, it's so interesting, like right before there's this expansion, often comes this like chaos with the Five of Pentacles. But time and time again, seeds have been planted of the soul in chaos. And that is the reason Spirit is really wanting me to reflect how successful you truly are when it comes to your come-up story. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we've got Coventina, purification. It is time for cleansing, detoxification of your body and mind. Yeah. Having a little grand finale for yourself could be very purifying. It could be very detoxifying, right? For detoxification of your body and mind. There are things that are being put in the past right now, and if you are sensing that, like, trust that that's okay. It's okay to let go. It's okay to start feeling it in retrospect, which is a bizarre feeling after you've been navigating, you've been pushing, and you've been toiling, and you've been growing and building and shining and falling and getting back up, and like this struggle, right? When you look at the song, it's like she's talking about trusting in the struggle. She is talking about like that is what has gotten her to this point, but it can only get you so far if you are only identifying with struggle, because it clams us up. So thank these parts of yourself that got you to this point. Extract the lessons that are important to learn when it comes to holding your boundaries, knowing your mind, knowing your truth, being curious, all of these things. But releasing this rigidity, and through that release of rigidity, emotions are going to come out, my friends. And that's okay. And know that you are not alone. And I encourage you to reach out to those who feel like home to you, or any kind of community resources that you feel comfortable utilizing. Please, because you are not alone, okay? You really aren't. You are not. You are so loved. You are so protected. You are so needed. And through all of this, like, I just keep seeing like this person like struggling in the mud and like getting back up. Like, look at all the times you've gotten back up and dusted yourself off, and how that has brought you to the you right now. And I feel the new moon in Capricorn is really asking us to celebrate that, and cheers to that as we step into a whole new chapter. So this new moon, write things down, do little purification ceremonies. Like if you want to do release ceremonies, writing things down and releasing them. Drinking lots of water. Mary Magdalene, unconditional love. Love yourself, others, in every situation, no matter what the outward appearance may be. I feel like, wow, yes, and I do feel an immense amount of love in this group of people who are here and probably still here. If you're still here, like, I love you so much. Thank you for being here. There has just been, that has been the guiding force, love, and you've been through a lot of really, really hard times and held on to love, and the universe really wants you to know that all of that it comes back to you, and it is coming back to you, and it's always been with you. I hope that I'm doing this justice. I feel like it's hard to put into earthly words. It really is. Receptivity on the bottom of the deck. It's time to receive now. It's time to receive. There's been so much pushing. There's been so much work. And now it is time to receive. Watch these blessings pour in. All of this toil. All of the seeds of the soul that has been planted in the dark nights of the soul. They are growing. They are blooming. They are blossoming. And I feel like this painful part of love, but blissful at the same time. It's so strange because how to say it, but I feel as though it's like, I feel like it's so hard to say. I'm so sorry, but through all the times that you've cried in bed, your heart has ripped open. And that just love that has been pouring out, it feels so painful because there's been loss, there has been chaos, there's been challenges, and the way that you have held on to love is incredibly beautiful, and the universe is kissing you on the forehead. There is a great chapter of strife that is ending, and all the things that you have learned about yourself and all the realms of the soul that you have accessed through this point is time to be honored. Celebrate yourself. Oh my gosh, it's just like really allow yourself to receive. This will increase your intuition, energy, and ability to give to others. Yeah. Wow, well, I hope this has been helpful in some way. It was definitely helpful to me as well, so thank you for sharing in this conversation. If you like that song, put it on, dance around. Visualize yourself slow-mo walking like the badass that you are. Like Capricorn, right, is the boss, is the GOAT, the greatest of all time. And it's time to feel the confident in that and to dip into that wellspring of strength, to witness just how far you've come, and like use that as fuel to your fire. Fire is purifying as well, right? So it's like this flame of you is coming through so brightly in this reading, and the new moon is time to set this new chapter in motion by celebrating and demonstrating all the gains, the lessons and tools that have been gleaned up until this point. And know that the universe is kissing you on the forehead always, even in these dark times. It's like there's this balancing, like there's so much coming in, there's so much prosperity, there's so much love and growth and adventure and creation and like abundance and stability. Like there's the things that you've been working on in regards to your dreams and your soul work, and like just the feeling of in your body even, like, is gonna feel just so much better. And I'm proud of you for releasing that part of you that is rigid, right? By loving that part of you, because it's gotten you to this point. There's a couple other memes that I've seen too, like online, before just closing up. It's like saying goodbye to that, you know, hyper independent version of me and entering this softer era. And it's the merging of the two, right? But being all soft, being all rigid, that's the polarity, and finding and merging the two is the path. And there is times where different aspects of ourselves come to the forefront, and I feel like there's this loving and kissing goodbye of this very powerful, very determined, very hyper independent you that got you to this point, and making way for more softness within yourself, knowing that you've got your own back, knowing that you are allowed to have boundaries, and is very creating this fertility to the growth and the expansion of whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is that you're growing, whatever it is that you're desiring, because it's coming straight from the soul. I just heard that song, good times, we're gonna have good times. Oh man, so enjoy, because you deserve it. What is your come up story? Tell your story, even if it's just to yourself, even if it's just to the tree outside, the bird that's on the branch. Tell it. And especially tell the moon. I love you so much. I'll see you in the next reading. Oh, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because I love hearing from you. And I'll catch you in the monthlies.